Assalamualaikum. My name is Tahir Naeem and we are studying Management Information System. So far we have got 19 lecture and this is our lecture number 20. And the title of our today lecture is Threat Identification. In this lecture we will identify various threats posed to the Management Information System. This is the outline of our today lecture. First of all, we will discuss the threat identification. Then we will discuss types of threats. Then we will discuss control analysis. Then we will discuss impact analysis. Then we will discuss risk determination or exposure analysis. Then we will discuss occurrence of threat. Then we will discuss computing expected loss. Let's discuss threat identification. A threat is some actions or event that can lead to a loss. Basically, we can identify threat to any event or actions that will result in a loss. During this phase, various types of threats that can be evaluated and result in information asset being exposed, removed either temporarily or permanently, lost, damaged, destroyed, or use of unauthorized purposes are identified. So the threats can be classified that the assets are exposed, are identified, are removed, are temporarily or permanently disabled. So these are the types of threats. Susceptibility to threats, whether logical or physical, are major risk factor for databases and information system of an organization. So the risks are posed to database and information system inside the organization. These risks are to be identified and steps that are include physical and logical controls need to be instituted and monitored on regular basis. Security measure can be designed only if we know what kind of threat or risks to be guarded against. Obviously, we will also have to determine the frequency of known and unknown risks or threats. So basically, we have to prepare for logical or physical risk or threats. So we must include security measures and we identify what threats can be guarded, can be hurled against our system. So we must be prepared to face the risk which we know are those risks which are unknown to us. Threats and risk are usually used synonymously. So basically, whenever we use risk or threats, they can be used interchangeably. But these are always there, cannot be avoided, but should be managed to minimize losses and maximize return. So we cannot completely say that our system is foolproof and losses cannot be incurred to our system. Each level of management that each operational area perceive risk differently and communicate these perception in different terms. Of threats. Physical threat. First of all, we classify threats into physical threats. This refers to damage caused to the physical infrastructure of the information system. And physical threats, basically the goods or systems are damaged physically, like the damage threats of fire to our system, or water, if water can damage our system, or any energy variation. If there is voltage variation, they can damage our system, information system, or structural damage to our system. Pollution can cause damage to our system. Intrusion of a thief or anyone else can harm our system. So the second one is logical. This refers to damage caused to software and data without physical presence. So basically, logic type of threat is those threats which doesn't require the physical presence of any person or system, because the software and data is damaged in logical threats. Here is the example. Viruses and worms are a typical example of logical threats. Logical intrusion into our system. Likelihood of occurrence of threats. Having identified the threats, they need to be ranked on the basis of their probability of occurrence. So basically, we have to classify that what are the chances of this threat occurring. Sometimes analysis can an occurrence of threat is easily available. For example, the insurance company might be having a study of occurrence of fire incident in the city for the purpose of fire insurance. However, the extent of threat resulting from a new virus may not yet have been identified or become known to the user, etc. So here I am giving you example of insurance company need to study the occurrence of fire incidents within the city so that the insurance claims against fire can be minimized or reduced. Or if there are new virus become available in the market or inside the customer, it's unknown threats. In such situation where no past data or reliable source of probability occurs is available, user can be asked to give best estimate of how frequently the threat is possible to occur. Usually, the higher the value of information is identified, higher are the chances for it becoming susceptible to vulnerability. For example, in ERP software built upon to a high integration level may need to be provided with high levels of security against potential threats. Control analysis. The goal of this step is to analyze the control that have been implemented or planned for implementation by the organization to minimize or eliminate the likelihood of occurrence of threat. To derive overall likelihood rating that indicates the probability of potential vulnerability may be exercised within the construct of associated threat environment. Security control encompasses the use of technical and non-technical methods. So security controls can be technical and non-technical. The technical methods are safeguards that are incorporated into computer hardware, software and firmware, such as control mechanism, identification and authentication mechanism, encryption methods, intrusion detection software, etc. So basically we can include technical know-how or safeguard against the intrusion. So these can be incorporated into computer hardware, software or firmware. Like here, authentication mechanism can be introduced, encryption method is used, intrusion detection software is used. Non-technical controls are management and operational controls such as security policies, operational procedure and personnel, physical environmental security. So non-technical include that we have the policies or procedure or physical environmental security includes. The control categories for both technical and non-technical control method can be further classified as either preventive or detective. So we can normally categorize both the technical and non-technical control mechanism into preventive or detective. These two subcategories are explained as follow. Preventive control inhibit attempt to violate security policy and include control as access control, enforcement, encryption and authentication. Detective control one of violation or attempt violation of security policy, which includes such as audit control or trace intrusion detection method. So basically preventive control prevent the intrusion from happening, like access control or any encryption authentication, while detection control mechanism try to control the intrusion if their intrusion is already occurring. So these are the two methods. Likelihood determination. to derive an overall likelihood rating that includes the probability that potential value may be exercised within the construct of the situated threat environment, the following governing factors must be considered: threat source, motivation and capability, nature of vulnerability, the existence of effectiveness of current control. Impact analysis. The next major steps in measuring level of risk is to determine the adverse impact resulting into a successful exercise of vulnerability. Before beginning the impact analysis, it is necessary to obtain the following information. So basically, whenever the threat occurs, we have to measure that what will be the impact of this threat, or how adversely it will affect the system, or what are the vulnerability of the current system that can lead to a successful attacks on. So before making an impact analysis, we must be able to have certain information which will help in impact analysis on. System mission. So we must have the knowledge of what is the mission of the system, so that we must be able to identify the threats on. System and data criticality. So we must be able to categorize how system is important and how data is critical. So if data is very critical, then its impact will be huge, while the system, maybe if there is system is playing a major role, then this will have a high impact on the information system. System and data sensitivity, that how the system is sensitive to intrusion and threats, while how data is sensitive to intrusion. The information can be obtained from existing organizational documents such as mission impact analysis report or asset critically assessment report, a business impact analysis report or asset critical assessment report. The adverse impact of security an event can be described in terms of loss or delay of any or all of three security goals. So basically, all these above information can be obtained by reading the documents of the organization, like mission impact analysis or report, or the asset critically assessment report. So all these information can be found in the above documents. So loss of integrity. So basically, the system and data integrity refers to the requirement that information should be protected from improper modification. Integrity is lost if unauthorized changes are made to the data or IT system by either intentional or accidental loss of system or data. Violation of integrity may be first step in successful attack against availability and confidentiality. For all these reasons, loss of integrity reduces assurance of an IT system. So basically, if we summarize what is the loss of integrity, so if someone is able to change or alter the data or delete the data, then the integrity of the data is lost. So the integrity means that the data is same as it when entered, so it is not changed, modified or altered by anybody. Loss of availability. If a mission critical IT system is unavailable to end user, the organization mission may be affected. Loss of system functionality and operational effectiveness. So we have to ensure that the system is available to user anytime he wants. If the system is unavailable for a brief period of time, then the mission then the system become dysfunctional. If it can also depends on how critical the system is. For time sensitive system, it must be that the system will be available to must be available to the user 24 by 7. If it is down for a brief moment of time, there will be loss of availability. Then the system functionality will be reduced, and operational effectiveness will be greatly reduced. Loss of confidentiality. System and data confidentiality refers to protection of information from unauthorized disclosure. The impact of unauthorized disclosure of confidential information can range from the jeopardizing of national security. Unauthorized, unanticipated, or unintentional disclosure could result in loss of public confidence, embarrassment, or legal action against organization. So nowadays confidentiality is one of the major aspect of the every organization, because every organization has the data of the customer, or if it is a government organization, then it is let's suppose I am giving example of Nadra, where the identity of all the user of the all the card holders are stored. If there is if the data is accessible by any unauthorized user, he can use these data for its own gain. So if we are using in other organization, lot of credit cards transaction are taking place, or any other transaction are taking place. So the confidentiality of data is a must in nowadays, because if we lose the confidentiality, we may face embarrassment or legal action against the organization from the user whose confidentiality has been compromised. Risk determination or exposure analysis. This phase relates to analyzing how much the information assets are exposed to various threats identified, and thus quantifying the loss caused to asset through this threat. This phase relates to the analysis of both physical and logical threats, and comprises of 4 steps. 4 steps are usually followed while analyzing the exposure. So basically we have to determine how risky is our system. It consists of 4 steps. First of all, we have to figure out where there are any physical or logical control in place. First of all, we have to determine that any physical or logical controls are in place to prevent the intrusion to the system. Employees are interviewed, different employees are interviewed, so that we can assess that how much our system is vulnerable. Walkthrough are conducted, and we have to scrutinize every employees. How reliable are these controls? That the control which we have placed are reliable, or they are just for show purposes. Check whether the firewall stops a virus from entering the organization system. We have to check the firewalls time by time, that are they effective against the new threats or not. Check whether antivirus install stop the virus from execution. We have to check our antivirus software, that is it effective or not against the viruses. We cannot start an earthquake to see if building can absorb shock or not. But there are some scenarios which we cannot simulate, like earthquake, but we can minimize the risk to our system. What is the probability that occurrence of threat can be successful against these controls? Compare asset identified with threat identified to see if control exists. Estimate the probability of occurrence based on past experience and future apprehensions or expectations. How much loss can occur due to a threat being successful? Scenarios are written to see how an identified potential can compromise control. Occurrence of threats. When a threat occurs, there can be following consequences. Control against threat exists. First, we have to check that if a threat occurs, we have control in place or not. Like controls can help stop occurrence of threat. That control occurs, but threat occurs, but damage is avoided by the control zone. Threat circumvents control and causes damage. Control against threat that do not exist. Threat has been identified, but consequent loss is considerable is minor. Threat occurs whether identified or not and cause damage to the system. Threat can cause damage whether control exists or not. Computing expected loss. So after threat compromise our system, we calculate the loss, how much loss is occur. So in fourth step of exposure analysis, the amount of expected loss is computing through the formula A equal to B into C into D. So A is expected loss, so here we calculate the expected loss. B is the chances in percent of threat occurrence. C is the chances in percent of threat being successful. D is loss which can occur once the threat is successful. So here we calculate the expected loss is we multiply the chances of threat occurrence into chances of threat being successful into loss which can occur after the threat is successful. All this calculation is made on the basis of percentage. These are the references from where I have prepared my lecture. Thank you. If you have any question regarding today's lecture, feel free to email me. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.